Over the last 7.5 weeks, these airmen have been transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with the foundation to serve in the world's greatest United States Air and Space Force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in their unique specialties. They will then transition onto numerous bases around the world, some working directly with our sister services. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. These airmen have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and the playing of the national anthem. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Smith.
Please pray with me. Dear God, we come here today in celebration of the achievement these men and women have made. We thank you for the hard work and dedication that has been shown as these trainees, these Eagles, have earned and now received the title of Airmen. We ask that you direct their pride to live in a way that shows their commitment to the mission, that you strengthen their character to be the best they can, and ask that you bless them with excellence as they move from one mission to the next. We thank you for the tireless efforts of their training instructors, the leadership of their commander, and the support of the staff, as they have taken them from civilian to airman. We ask your blessings on them as they have been instrumental in the success of those that stand before us. We ask your blessings on the families that could not be here today. Without their love and support, none of this would have been possible. Be with them as they watch from home, as we know how much they wish they were here. We ask for your protection and blessing for those who are deployed, and we ask for your blessing on those here as they enter the Air and Space Force that is second to none. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's basic military training graduation ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander and Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Michael Newsom and Chief Master Sergeant Larry Gaitan. From the 37th Training Wing, the Vice Commander and Command Chief, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Megan Schaefer and Chief Master Sergeant Stefan Blazer. Also in attendance with us today, the Commander and representing the Superintendent, 559th Medical Group, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Rebecca Blackwell and Chief Master Sergeant Cindy Porras. Representing the Commander and Superintendent, 322nd Training Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Major Kareen Argueta and Master Sergeant Lacey Clemente. Special guest of the Superintendent, 737th Training Group, Master Sergeant Lynn Barnett, United States Air Force, retired. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. This morning, we pay special tribute to the men and women before us. They have successfully completed all graduation requirements and have demonstrated that they are ready to take their place as airmen in the world's greatest air and space force. We will mark their transition today from trainees to airmen by presenting them the coveted Airman's Coin. Today's ceremony celebrates the remarkable accomplishments of this graduating class. Our nation's future rests upon the dedication of this new class of warriors who we honor today. Master Sergeant Clemente, representing the Superintendent, 322nd Training Squadron, will now say a few words.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen watching via live stream, and congratulations to our graduates. Airmen, you are joining a team of professionals dedicated to integrity, service, and excellence. The Airman's Coin you are about to receive may seem as a simple coin, but it carries with it the history and heritage of our airmen. The men and women who have come before you have airlifted troops and supplies into the jungles of Vietnam. They've executed precision airstrikes in the deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan. And they've delivered humanitarian aid to villages in Africa and South America. They have launched missiles, flown satellites, defended airstrips, and strengthened partnerships. They have stood in the North Pole, the South Pole, and everywhere between. Today, this very moment, you have achieved something, and I'm extremely proud of you. Hold your heads up high. Be proud of what you've accomplished. Wear your uniform proudly. Serve our nation honorably, and trust me when I say that this experience will serve as a model of determination that will guide a very successful career. As the acting superintendent of the 322nd Training Squadron, I hereby acknowledge your completion of basic military training graduation requirements and recommend to the Commander that you receive your Airman's Coin. Lastly, here's what you need to know. As of this moment, you and I, we are teammates. You are my brother. You are my sister. You are my wingman. You are an airman. Congratulations. Military training instructors, you may proceed.
At this part of the ceremony, the military training instructors will distribute the Venerable Airman's Coin. The lore of military coins have many colorful, if only suspected, origins. However, a popular story stems from American volunteer-formed flying squadrons in France during World War I. One of the volunteers was a wealthy lieutenant who took great pride in his service and had medallions cast in bronze with his squadron's emblem on them. He gave these medallions to every member of his unit. Not long after, one of the pilots was shot down behind enemy lines and was captured by a German patrol. The German forces took all of the pilot's possessions, except for the pilot's medallion that he had around his neck. While in a confinement in a small French village, the captured pilot took advantage of a nighttime bombardment by the Allies. He donned civilian clothes and escaped. After crossing the front lines to safety, he came across a French outpost where the French initially thought him a saboteur until he showed them his unit coin. The French forces recognized the unit emblem, and instead of any harsher treatment, he received a bottle of wine. Today, there are many military units that have developed their own unique coins and specific rules for them. Many organizations give out their unit coins in recognition of outstanding performances and achievements. The coin the airmen received today is unique in that it originates here at the gateway to the Air Force and is only given to those who complete the rigorous course of instruction and cross into the blue. On one side of the coin, the original emblem of the Air Force resides, as envisioned by General Henry Hap Arnold, one of the original military aviators and later commander of the Army Air Forces in World War II. Beneath the emblem, the date, 1947, the birthday of the United States Air Force. And around the rim of the coin, the venerable core values of the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the new recognized emblem of the Air Force, a symbol that honors the heritage of our past and represents the promise of our future. The emblem retains the core elements of the Henry Hap Arnold emblem, the Arnold wings, and the star within a circle. The modern effect of the emblem reflects our Air and Space Force today and into the future. Inscribed in the half circle above the new Air Force emblem is our motto: aim high, fly, fight, win. And on the border of the coin, a reminder to all those who see this is inscribed: awarded on the occasion of becoming an airman in the world's greatest Air Force.
Congratulations, Airmen. Now how about that squadron pride? Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed. I am an American airman. Thank you. Please be seated. Instructors, place your flights at ease. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the Commander, 322nd Training Squadron, Major Argueta.
Good morning. On behalf of Colonel Michael Newsom, the Commander of Air Force Basic Military Training, let me begin by saying to the families joining us virtually, I can only imagine how disappointed you are that you can't physically be here to support your loved ones. 7.5 weeks ago, you entrusted us with our nation's treasures, your sons and daughters. Your support was key in their triumph, and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support, your encouragement, but more importantly, thank you for your trust. It is my great honor to hold a ceremony introducing 749 airmen from the 322nd Training Squadron and the 433rd Training Squadron, full of pride, character, and excellence as our nation's newest airmen. I would like to give a special acknowledgement to our military training instructors and staff. These are the dedicated professionals who transform civilians into warrior airmen. Every 7.5 weeks, you produce another generation of men and women worthy of the title airmen. You have trained these airmen through extremely long days and additional COVID-19 demands. At a personal sacrifice to yourself and your families, you ensure that only worthy of the proud heritage and honored profession don the blue uniform of the most powerful Air Force in the history of known to man. You are the best of the best. I am honored to serve with each and every one of you. Please join me in giving the military training instructor and our staff a round of applause. Finally, to the graduating airmen, today is your day. You stand here different in almost every aspect of your life as compared to the person you were when you got off the bus. You understand values like integrity, excellence, service, character, and respect, warrior ethos that will boldly serve you for the rest of your life. You have volunteered for military service with full knowledge that our country may call you to deploy to dangerous locations around the globe. I salute you and say thank you for your service. As a prior enlisted airman, I want you to know that this is a tremendous milestone in your career. This path is a noble one, with less than 1% of the entire American population raising their hand to serve, and you have done so. Today, you shed the title of trainee. Your well-earned title is now airman. As I mentioned to you this week, bloom where you're planted, be the best version of yourself, and success will certainly follow. This is the success that will ensure our Air Force remains second to none. Remember, each of you are vitally important to our mission and to our great nation. We have a secret weapon in the U.S. military. And it's not the F-22 or F-35. The ultimate weapon is you, the American airman. I look forward to serving beside you as we defend the Constitution of the United States of America. You are trained lethal warriors of character. Airmen, welcome to our family. Good luck, Godspeed, and thank you.
Thank you, Major Argueta. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander, 559th Medical Group, Colonel Blackwell, will now come forward and address our graduating airmen.
Good morning, 322nd Training Squadron. You are quite a sight from here. It is my great honor to celebrate your basic military training, coining, and graduation with you today. I am Colonel Becky Blackwell, the commander of the 559th Medical Group, which includes the Reed Clinic, where you had your first medical care here, including at least 2 COVID-19 swabs. The shots and COVID tests that you received are a great example of the investment that the Air and Space Force make in protecting your wellness and safety. Thank you, Colonel Newsom and Chief Gaitan, for inviting me to take part in this ceremony today. It is truly an honor to be here with you. I stand before you humbled that even in these extraordinary times, with ongoing wars overseas and in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, of all the things you could be doing with your lives, you chose to become airmen. Each one of us here, from all of you who are about to become the Air and Space Force's newest airmen, to those like me, for whom retirement is right around the bend, we each choose to become and remain airmen. You are the most treasured asset of the United States Air and Space Forces. You are our future, and I am honored to serve with you. One of the United States military's greatest strengths is our adaptability. We are fighting through the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic by adapting, and that starts with you here at BMT. COVID-19 has changed how we do all things around the world. I imagine that no corner of the globe is unaffected. As a microcosm of our society, we too have been significantly impacted by this pandemic. Ever flexible, we have adapted and innovated basic military training and medical processes to enable us to safely fight through to today. BMT has changed the structure of its squadrons, the content and delivery of its curriculum, and the duration of BMT itself. At the Reed, we have built a deployed-in-place operation, Operation Stronghold, to address all your COVID-related healthcare needs. Through this change, there has been one constant: you, our newest airmen. Graduation activities have changed for you as well. 6 months ago, on the Thursday of your graduation week, you would be here as you are, in formation, to receive your airman's coin. Some of your families would be here, packing those stands in matching shirts representing your squadron. Now, instead, they're watching you via live stream from your respective hometowns, likely not decked out in the Air Force swag they would proudly be wearing if they were here. 6 months ago, they cheered for you in this spot so loudly that we could have been at a professional sporting event. Now, instead, they're cheering you on virtually, and you cannot hear them. Tomorrow, you would don your service dress and march on the parade field, across the Enlisted Heroes Walk. Then you would cross the long blue line on the pavement, crossing into the blue, then proceed down the bomb run as you join the world's greatest air and space force. Instead, today, you will become the newest additions to that long blue line of the Air Force and Space Force, without the visible demarcation marking your transition. At the end of the day, though, whether you physically march down the bomb run or stand as you are today, graduating here, one thing undoubtedly remains the same. You are ready, trained, and capable, the airmen that our Air and Space Force need at this moment in our history. We often say in the Air Force that flexibility is the key to air power. Our flexibility together as airmen, already demonstrated by you here, will ensure that we continue as the world's greatest air and space force. My command partner and mentor, Chief Master Sergeant Keith Scott, often speaks of the importance of heritage and service. He is known to say, "Your service is something that cannot be taken away from you." Today, you become our brothers and sisters in arms and extend the long blue line of service. This is the first step in your evolution as airmen. How you choose to serve going forward is up to you. Enjoy this moment. The next challenge starts tomorrow. Our Air and Space Force need you. One way for you to serve is to honor and remember those heroes who came before you. Many buildings on this BMT campus bear the names of those heroes. Buildings named after heroes like A1C Elizabeth Jacobson, the first female service member and defender to die in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Master Sergeant John Chapman, our most recent Medal of Honor recipient. We stand today at the Fingston Reception Center, named for Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 10, Chief Master Sergeant Gary R. Fingston. Your very own 322nd Training Squadron building is named for Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 4, Chief Master Sergeant Thomas N. Barnes, the first Black American to serve in the highest enlisted post in any of the services. Honor their service by learning their names and knowing their stories. When you just so proudly recited the best rendition of the Airman's Creed, you proclaimed to have answered your nation's call. By your choice to serve as an airman, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, you are indeed answering that call. Your success and flexibility navigating BMT during the challenges of COVID has the attention of the highest levels of the Air Force, Space Force, and Department of Defense. Your graduation today marks a milestone in your Air Force career, a challenge that you met head on and overcame, and I am proud of you. My fellow airmen, there are many more challenges and opportunities ahead of you in your military career. I charge you today to face each one with excellence and make the Air and Space Force a little bit better every day. I have just one question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space force? I think they're ready.
Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Blackwell will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen, and welcome to the world's greatest air and space force.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of our official party.
1, 2, right up, sing!
Off we go!
Caliber 2s from the left. Oh, head!
From the 322nd Training Squadron, Flight 527, led by Master Sergeant Lance Westfall, military training instructor, hometown, Greenfield, Missouri. Flight 528, led by Technical Sergeant John Davis, military training instructor, hometown, Indianapolis, Indiana. Flight 529, led by Technical Sergeant Zelda Varela, military training instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Flight 530, led by Technical Sergeant Adam Dye, military training instructor, hometown, Valparaiso, Indiana. Flight 531, led by Technical Sergeant Andrew Spiker, military training instructor, hometown, Reading, Pennsylvania. Flight 532, led by Technical Sergeant Jimmy Perez, military training instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Flight 533, led by Master Sergeant Elijah Hobby, military training instructor, hometown, Kirby, West Virginia. Flight 534, led by Technical Sergeant Laquana Jenkins, military training instructor, hometown, Gulfport, Mississippi. Flight 535, led by Technical Sergeant Randall McKee, military training instructor, hometown, Crestview, Florida. Flight 536, led by Staff Sergeant Stephen Shorter, military training instructor, hometown, Mechanicsville, Maryland. Flight 537, led by Master Sergeant Will Carrico, military training instructor, hometown, Christmas Valley, Oregon. Flight 538, led by Technical Sergeant Mariah Picardi, military training instructor, hometown, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Flight 539, led by Technical Sergeant Stephen Beasley, military training instructor, hometown, Wake Forest, North Carolina. Flight 540, led by Technical Sergeant Cruz Dosal, military training instructor, hometown, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Flight 541, led by Technical Sergeant R.C. Craig Carnate Ramos, military training instructor, hometown, Las Vegas, Nevada. Flight 542, led by Staff Sergeant Autumn Foster, military training instructor, hometown, Carthage, Texas. Flight 543, led by Technical Sergeant Roberto Santiago Colon, military training instructor, hometown, Vega Alta, Puerto Rico. Flight 544, led by Technical Sergeant Thomas Bruckner, military training instructor, hometown, Palmdale, California. Flight 633, led by Technical Sergeant Ricky Dunbar, military training instructor, hometown, Houston, Texas. Flight 634, led by Technical Sergeant Trevor Young, military training instructor, hometown, Wayward, Wisconsin.